Of course, yesterday was a story that President Muhammadu Buhari has signed the fourth alteration bill that grants financial autonomy to state judiciaries and state houses of assembly into law. The senior special assistant to the president on National Assembly matters, Senator Itai Enang, disclosed this to State House correspondent yesterday. Senator Enang said President Buhari assented to the Constitution fourth alteration bill, which grants financial autonomy and independence to the houses of assembly of the respective states and to the judiciary of the respective states. He said, with the signature, amounts standing to the credit of the judiciary are to now be paid directly to the judiciary and no more through the governors and no more from the governors. He also said houses of assembly of the respective states are now to be paid directly to them for the benefit of the legislators and the management of the state houses of assembly. Gentlemen, this is something we've all been clamoring for. We've talked about it exhaustively, and then of course right now it's come to fruition. This is something commendable, isn't it, Vice Chris?
Very well. I commend him for signing to be.
Okay.
Because what he did is meeting with the aspirations of people.
Okay.
We have all these years believed that houses of assembly became rubber stamp of governors because they had to go cap in hand to collect their money from them. And there was the need for them to be independent. With their money going directly to them now, there's no financial control over them. They may be more courageous at attending to state matters than before. Okay. Then the second part of it, the judiciary too, is in fact, this is the greatest independence day. That signing yesterday was the independence day for judiciary. Because the problem was that the judiciary will be afraid that they can be kicked out any moment if they don't
give judgment favorable.
Okay. So now there's no hindrance to their doing justice the way it's expected.
Okay, let me pause you there. General, the right moment. Someone has said, well, it means we're probably going to be seeing more impeachments and all of that in the Republic on account of the autonomy that state houses of assembly will be enjoying as a result of this assent to this alteration. Yeah, what are your thoughts?
No, please put the question again.
Yes, some have said that as a result of this autonomy, financial autonomy to state houses of assembly, we're likely going to be seeing more impeachment of governors in the Republic.
The issue of autonomy is a very, very important issue in governance in Nigeria. Okay. What has been done now, which I will hasten to say is in the right direction, has been especially with regard to the judiciary. The foundation is already laid there in the Constitution that funds for the judiciary shall be released to the judicial authorities straight away without having to go through different channels. Okay. So this law, as far as that particular one is concerned, is a reinforcement, maybe an amplification of what the Constitution already directs. But with regard to state, the situation in the houses of assembly, I think again it must be applauded because these states are not dependent on the National Assembly, unless in special situations as enacted in the Constitution. Okay. So when the States Assembly has autonomy, it will increase the confidence of the legislators. It will improve the public perspective of them, and it will make them much more independent. Because before now, let's face it, they have always been like people tied to the apron string of the state governors. Okay. So I think in this regard too, nothing can be more timely, nothing can be better than ensuring the autonomy of the state assemblies. And we are going to see, without a doubt, that the system of governance of the state will improve considerably.
Mr. Mego, what happens to states who the state houses of assembly that didn't sign for their own autonomy, and now that this bill has come to fruition?
It is not a payback time. It's not a payback time for them. You see, again, democracy comes into the fore. The fact that few states did this does not mean that the law will not cover those states.
Okay.
And so we're talking of impeachment. I don't know why a governor comes into the office and will be thinking of being impeached. Do your own duty. You see, everybody has to play his role in the economy. Do your own and let the House of Assembly.
If a government is self-centered
yeah,
and it's not carrying
if you are self-centered, then you
others along, is all by himself, all to himself.
For every action, there is a counter-action.
Okay.
If you now think that you are now everything, then they will cut you to size. But if you do your job, know your limitations, know what your wants, know what you don't want, work well. Nobody will come and impeach you if you don't use money. If you don't start buying cars for people who are not supposed to, nobody will impeach you. Rather, they will commend you. You see, I want to endorse the submission of my two little brothers. You see, in 1952, Nigeria wanted to become independent in 1956, just like Ghana. The North wasn't ready. And so we directed by the British officers to go begging the North to agree with us before they could give us independence. That is the cause of our problem today in this country. Because we became so massive. If we were in different countries, we would be able to. Why I'm saying this is that let the governors themselves focus on what they are elected to do. Forget about House of Assembly. Forget about Judiciary. Let everybody play his own role.
Okay. All right, Mr. Chris. There's also a component of this autonomy, which is the autonomy of local government council. Yeah. That, to a large extent, has not seen the light of the day.
Well, regrettably, that didn't come along with this. Yes. Because it will appear as if both houses of assembly did not endorse it when the National Assembly came up with the constitutional amendment to doing it. Okay. But let me also take you back. My brother here and myself were members of the 2014 National Confab. And our recommendation there was that local governments should be taken to states.
That's local government should be under states.
Under states. Sure. That the states should be able to decide how many local governments they want to have and provide the revenue. But we, however, put a rider that they should be subject to the revenue mobilization committee's formula. Okay. That is taking it back to the states. That was our position. Okay. The reason why we took that position was because we discovered that some local government in a state like Kano, they had 44. Jigawa had 27. Kaduna was in 31, and so on and so forth. Then our states here, we have only 18. Lagos, with the largest population in Nigeria, only 20. Right.
So we're quickly talking about the National Assembly.
Well, I was just saying, sir, that you see, when you want wide powers, you want empires to govern, you run into trouble. You have the books.
Are you saying the National Assembly is not following its constitutional roles in its engagement with the executive?
It's not. For example, the declaration of June 12. It shouldn't occupy the National Assembly. They shouldn't even discuss it at all. But if they go ahead to discuss it, they have given a 12-point reason why the president, if he doesn't do, we will impeach you. Those ones are threats. Okay. They are unnecessary.
Yes, please.
My colleague spoke so well. I want to add to that it is not just a problem of the National Assembly alone. I think there is complete failure to understand the nature of government that presidential federalism is.
On whose part now?
On everybody's
on both
part.
Parts, okay.
On everybody's part.
Okay.
The National Assembly wants to dabble into the work of the executive, and they want to spend more time in doing that.
Isn't that part of the oversight function?
No.
There is oversight. There are reasons for oversight functions, and we know those conditions. When there is an attempt to correct a procedure, or when there's an attempt to check, fraud. But the main thing I'm saying is that we do not understand what presidential system of government means. And it's sad that most of the people who are running this system, who have been running it since 1999, do not understand, and they don't bother to understand. This system is based on checks and balances. Exactly. The president has a role to play, even in legislation. That's a way of check.
Okay.
the judiciary is the job of the judgment. Anywhere is the job of the judges. But again, there is also the provision for prerogative of mercy, right? The president can declare war, he can send troops abroad, but he also has to consult
with the National
Security Committee. Okay. And if it is so urgent, he can declare war, he can send troops out, but he must get the approval of the National Assembly within specified period.
Okay.
Right. So if people are always saying cooperation, too much cooperation would spoil the presidential system.
All right, but let me get Barrister Chris Akmoanegbe in on the rift between the executive and the National Assembly. Barrister Mego said it's greediness on the part of the National Assembly. Barrister Idada Ekmome says it's a lack of understanding of the core tenets of presidential system of government as it relates to democracy.
I am more inclined to generate that because it will appear as if they don't. But the only thing I don't support is extension since 1999. They don't know the people there now. They came as agitators, and when they arrived there, they didn't know what to do. They were not prepared for governance. Mr. President, let me just pick one example. Ladebo has the intention is to acquire aircraft in America to fight our war. Ladebo as it is. There's a process. He cannot appropriate money, no matter how small the money is. He must go to the assembly to say, give me this amount of money. He was going to pay in February, and he had this intention way back to December. Finished negotiation in December. 3 months was enough for him to ask the assembly to give him approval to pay that money to buy the aircraft. When particularly our representative here cried out and said this was offensive because he's the chairman of the Public Accounts Committee, you saw the reaction from our local base here. Even though he ought to be applauded for what he did, for being vigilant in this thing. And the word, my learned brother, my colleagues just said a couple of minutes ago that they threatened the president with that 10-point resolution of impeachment. That's as the same conclusions they went to when Matthew Rowide spoke in the floor of the Senate. He never said impeachment. No motion was moved for impeachment. He only read out the level conditions contained in section 143. The consequences of disobeying the National Assembly by way of financial appropriation. But they translated to this thing. The 10 resolutions taken by the 12 they took in the recent something.
In that judge session.
They didn't just say they are going to impeach him. No. They said they will react.
They will invoke the relevant sections of the Constitution.
Invoking the relevant section, that's reacting.
Yeah.
The other one, they didn't use the word impeachment.
Okay. They use the word.
It's not there in that document, sir.
They use it.
There was no impeachment in that document.
Yeah.
So the issue I'm raising is this. The National Assembly must also be accommodated to do their job. Don't forget that theirs is an assembly. About 109 in Senate who are talking on one particular issue at a time, and 360 in the House of Rep talking at the same time on one issue. They don't miss the point that they are bound to have superior position out of their dialogue than what Mr. President alone said.
No, majority is never. No, the majority is not always right.
I didn't say they are going to have better outcome.
Yeah.
You assume so.
I promise, sir, they are coming to have better outcome because Mr. President is alone, and he's even a very weak president who is controlled by cabals.
No, you can't say he's a weak president. That's the same. Okay, just withdraw that statement by Chris Akmoanegbe.
Yes, he's a president that is not present in issues.
No, you're not cancer.
It's not present in issues. No, that's a personal opinion. But let's look at something. Let's look at, gentlemen, before we cap it up now, let's look at something. I've asked this question repeatedly in several of our programs, which is that the president or the executive, the National Assembly are dominated, so to speak, by supposed members of the ruling party. Yet we keep having this constant friction and disagreement. What does that portend for the party ahead of 2019, Barrister Mego?
We will come together. That's democracy. You agree and disagree, and when election comes, we all come together because this is our own party.
Yes.
Others are their own party.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, we will want our party to win.
Okay.
We have 24 states. We have 24 states.
Yes.
Remember,
Yes.
we gathered, but we have
Yes.
24 states.
Yes.
So there's no way we can do anything to us.
All right, General.
In addition to that, I want us to look at, even during Obasanjo's regime, that PDP were the opposition to PDP.
Yeah, exactly.
So is that what is playing out now?
Yes.
Are you saying APC is the opposition to APC now?
Take note that when people go into the National Assembly, there might be party sentiments here and there, but these people are supposed to be mature people looking at issues from viewpoint of mature citizens and looking at it from the utility to the whole country.
Okay.
I am yet to believe that the good of the society is what informs the action of most.
I share.
I don't think they are pushed by the urge to do what is good. They are pushed by the urge to satisfy their own limited selfish interests.
Okay.
And as long as that is so, then the difference will know no bound. Whether it is within the same
Okay, we're running up there. Brother Chris, yes,
The
quickly.
truth of the matter
In a
is
minute.
the truth of the matter is that the National Assembly, to my mind, they are trying to do what is right, irrespective of the political party that brought them there. And then they converged and said, we are now one as members of the National Assembly. Let us look at issues in clear perspective and take position along that line. That may be offensive to the party that brought them, the majority. For example, the party said...
But you just said they don't know what they're doing.
Just hold on.
I didn't say National Assembly, I never said so.
I
never said so.
Okay.
National Assembly, that's coming from you, sir. I can't say so.
Okay, okay.
What I'm saying in effect is that, just see what played out. The party said they want Mr. B to be their president of Senate. And then the people now said, no, that will not be able to give us leadership. They elected another person. That is the beginning of the crisis.
Okay.